Hello, and welcome back to Movie Theater Explorer. This is Brent, your Movie Theater Explorer here. And tonight I am doing what I pretty much declared what I was going to do in my podcast episode, but I wanted to wait till at least saw it a few times. I have now seen Project Hail Mary three times in three different formats, or film formats. Um, just a quick summary, I saw it once in IMAX Digital to be clear, once in Cinemark XD, and once in standard format. Um, so I'm just going to go down, share just rough idea of how each experience was, um, and what some of those pros were, or just like how they were. Um, so my first experience Friday night was IMAX, and this is IMAX Digital, as I said. And for IMAX Digital, basically, so it was definitely a very immersive. It was very immersive, as it always is. Definitely like a large screen, and the IMAX auditorium I was in was definitely very big, and it was definitely um, yeah, definitely I could feel all those space sequences and everything. And so being especially how they would expand the aspect ratio to fill the entire IMAX screen um, during these sequences in space, and it felt very immersive that way, and just looked really cool and really beautiful. Um, I think with the IMAX digital, maybe yeah, it was actually really good. Um, and then the sound, I'm I always really like the IMAX sound experience. It's very immersive, and it's again, there's a lot of theaters that have a lot of speakers all over to help enforce the sound. This one obviously has the speakers in the front, and then there's like two big speakers in the back, and it's just a very powerful sound experience, and it felt very immersive. So it felt naturally expansive, and especially being like in those space sequences, the um, the music and everything just it felt very immersive and very expansive, very larger than life. So, and it really helps. Those type of movies help make the IMAX experience really worth it. Spoiler alert, IMAX is definitely my top choice for this film, but there are other ways to see it too. I do want to add a quick thing. I did not see it this way. I don't have a theater close to me that has IMAX 70 millimeter, but I would personally try to check it out if it were available. So if you have one near you like that, I would recommend trying to seek it out that way. But IMAX Digital is still really good. The next one, Cinemark XD. I went to see this on a Saturday night, and so basically, it was a really good alternative. Um, the big thing about it was the just like I think the presentation was in the projector was in 4K, I believe. I don't know all the specifics and all that, but I think it's a laser projector. It does have a lot of color, and the colors looked very vibrant, very beautiful. And so, in Cinemark XD is still a rather good size auditorium and very impressive. And and yeah, definitely, like I said, the colors and the details were really sharp and looked really impressive. And so I was very, very happy with the Cinemark XD presentation of this film. The sound experience. Now, for those that have never been into Cinemark XD auditorium, this one that I was in has a lot of speakers all over. Um, like I think like a standard movie theater, you're tend to seeing like a speaker every every like probably 2 feet. Again, I'm badly estimating that, and or probably like 3 feet. So it's just kind of spaced out quite a bit, 3 or 4 feet, something like that. Anyway, point is it's kind of they're spaced out. But for these ones, they are spaced out as well. But there's one speaker and there's another speaker below it, so it's very layered, and that's how it is in the back. Can be a little bit in the back as well, I think. Definitely more on the sides. But yeah, but there's also speakers above. So basically, I don't know if it's necessarily Dolby Atmos encoding, but it is something similar to that way. It is immersive sound, and the big thing, like it's you can still feel that somewhat um, expansiveness. Just it's not in the same way, but it's still very impressive. It's still very grand. And then there's certain moments where you can feel like the impact. Whenever there's a spaceship gets hit by something, um, you can feel those impacts, or even like certain taps and everything. You when it's intentionally designed to shake the theater, you feel that impact. So it's like I really like the design of the Cinemark XD theater, and again, it's more wide. This presentation, the IMAX aspect ratio would change aspect ratios. This did as well, actually. It would have the bigger aspect ratio in space, and then on Earth it would be like the 2.4 or 2.35 aspect ratio. So, and yeah, so it definitely keeps that in. It's more of a wide screen theater, so it ends up kind of shrinking that space a little bit, but it still works. I'm still very much drawn and immersed into the experience. Okay, and the last one is a standard one. I went to just tonight, just with a few friends. I went to a local a local Cinemark that was playing it. It's a standard theater, and this is actually one of the few Cinemark theaters that I know about. I think there's probably plenty. Who knows? That just still has standard seating. There's no luxury seats, so which allows more people into the auditorium, and is definitely really cool. Like it definitely works for this sound presentation, and so basically, um, yeah, it's still like so standard picture, standard sound for any other theater, but it's regardless. No, the big things. It's still really good. At the end of the day, it's still a really good presentation because I feel like the the creative team and the engineers and all that work to try to get these film presentations to their best ability, and like you can tell like the picture still looked really good and the sound still sounded really good and still had the impacts that it needed to and everything. So um and of course just hearing everyone laughing and just really getting into the movie. There's a jump sequence and I could just tell like quite a few people jumped, which I jumped during the first time. I jumped out of my seat, and I could tell people were jumping out of their seat during this particular moment. Um, so again, it's still really good, and it's regardless how you watch it, it's still going to be a great um, movie theater going experience. And this is one that if you're still on the fence, debating whether to see it, I mean, obviously, my top choice is IMAX. No surprise. Cinemark XD would be a good, or any premium movie theater experience. And there's each one, each movie theater chain has their own different one. Um, that would be my second alternative. And then if you're just wanting to just see it and just go into a regular theater, that works too. This is still one. This is one I would go support seeing in the movie theater. This is one of those that it really takes advantage of that theater going experience. Oh yeah, just regardless, going back to the standard experience, when I went to the local Cinemark tonight, it still had the changing aspect ratios. So it would be at 1.90 for, or 1.85, something like that, for the space sequences, and then it would go down to 2.35, 2.0 for the Earth sequences. So it maintains that kind of presentation that was made. So regardless how you see it, I definitely recommend seeing this in a movie theater. Anyway, I didn't want to take too much time, but I really appreciate you tuning in again. I hope this information was helpful for you in one way or another. And yeah, feel free to share your experiences of how you saw it. Maybe some of you went to a Dolby Cinema, some of you might have seen it in Screen X. Feel free to share those experiences in the comments. Thank you again for tuning in. This is Brent with Movie Theater Explorer signing off.